I'm Jamie Nilsen, and you are watching H1 Unlimited on YouTube.
Hello, race fans, and welcome back to Seattle, Washington, more specifically Lake Washington and South Seattle. Brad Luce along with Dustin Eccles. We are at the start-finish line tower in the Bill Myers Memorial Broadcast Studios on the start-finish line tower. We've had our first part of the Boeing Air Show to the air for the last couple of hours, and now we are back with boats on the water, unlimited hydroplanes on the water, but not the H1 variety. We got our vintage boats out, Dustin.
Yeah, little different genre, but they're definitely out there. We've got 4 of them, 4 beautiful boats.
Yeah, we had 2 boats out earlier today, and they gave some riders a trip around the lake. Want to welcome in our fans along the shoreline, and I walked up and down the shore during our lunch break. There's quite a few people here, especially up the creek where I went. There was quite a few people up there, so good crowd here for Friday, enjoying a beautiful day in Seattle, and right now they're going to enjoy our vintage unlimited hydroplane show courtesy of the Hydroplane and Race Boat Museum. Lane number 1 is going to be the Miss Wahoo. Lane number 2 is going to go to the 1955 Miss Thriftway. The Notre Dame is going to be in 3, and on the far outside, the 1958 Miss Bardol. Boy, this takes me back, young man.
I love it. I absolutely love that right there. The shot, they're spread out just perfectly. Look at the Bardol on the outside. How cool is that?
That's the second Miss Bardol on the outside. Ole Bardol owned that boat. Gave the ride to Norm Evans. They took it over to Eastern Washington for the first race of the boat's career, the 1958 Apple Cup, and they were victorious.
And Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of these are replicas and some of them are the restored originals, and the Bardol is an original, isn't it not?
The Bardol is an original. That is a restoration of an original boat, and whatever you do, don't ask me what exactly that means versus one that's not a restoration and a replica. However, the 2 boats in lane 1 and 2, those boats are both replicas. Both those boats were completely destroyed back in the day, but they got an original set of plans from the Jones family. They were drawn up, and those boats were put together. The Vashon Unlimited's group pulled together the 1955 Miss Thriftway, the boat in lane number 2. That's the mahogany deck boat with the persimmon and cream stripes on it. And that boat is a hull copy of the Miss Wahoo that is in lane 1. 4 boats were built off the same set of plans. The Miss Thriftway, the Miss Wahoo, the Shanty 1, and the Miss Spokane were all built off the same set of plans that came off the drawing board of Ted Jones back in the day. But as far as the restoration of the replica goes, Bill Boeing took a look at the Miss Thriftway and he goes, wow, I really wish we still had the Wahoo. And some plans were drawn up, some people got together with some money, and that's what you're seeing right now. First boat across the line here, the Miss Wahoo in lane number 1 with a sister ship, if you will, the Miss Thriftway, the 62 Notre Dame. In lane number 3, the blue and white boat with the green shamrock on the tail, and somebody's having a lot of fun giving some juice to that 58 Bardol going down the front chute.
I saw when they came out of turn number 2 and Kip Brown stood on the throttle in the
Notre
Dame.
Dame.
Yeah, you could see it just belch a little bit of black smoke out of there, and if I didn't know better, I'd say he was hot on the nitrous button, although I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a bottle in that one. But
I don't think so, but it'd be fun.
Oh, pretty neat, though, just to watch him accelerate. That's pretty cool.
For what it's worth, they better not offer him one because he'll take it. He would take it. Kip would go out and have a good time with it. So we kind of got two boats together up front. It's the Thriftway and the Wahoo. Those of you on the live stream getting an incredible look from the drone of those two boats going up the backstretch. Look at that shot on the live stream. But you fans here along the shoreline, you got the best view because you can see it, and better yet, you can hear it. We all love the roar. This is where the Thunderboat came from. That drone shot is sticking with those boats through the upper corner. Good looking stuff there. You see what a beautiful day here it is on Lake Washington. The Miss Thriftway, well, when the Detroit-Seattle rivalry reached its pinnacle, that would have been in 1955. Yes, Seattle had already been back to Detroit. Detroit brought the Gold Cup out to Seattle, but it would be 5 long years before Detroit would get it back, and they'd get it back in 1955 when the Miss Thriftway with Bill Muncie, that boat right there that's crossing start-finish line in lane 2, they came back to the pit area after the final heat, the apparent winner of the 1955 APBA Gold Cup. But back in those days, they had a little something called bonus points. And the boat with the shortest elapsed time for all of their heats got 400 bonus points. And in those days, points determined the winner. And everybody forgot about the bonus points except for retired referee Mel Crook, who he checked his stopwatch and said, I think Gale 5 won this thing. He turned out to be correct. There's that view again from the drone. That's just something special as you now ride along with the Bardol up the back chute. So the Detroiters, as the headline said in the Seattle Times the next day, Detroiters won with adding machines and Einstein. And the Detroit-Seattle rivalry was on. The next year we go to Detroit. Muncie comes back to the pit area again, thinking he's won it in 1956. There was some protest filed. There was all kinds of accusations that Muncie had hit a buoy on lap 7. King TV 5 at the time put some footage together and showed that wasn't the case, but there were still other issues and protests. 76 days after the event itself, Muncie finally was declared the winner. He went to the Detroit Yacht Club and claimed his prize. And that's that little boat in lane number 2 with the stripes on it. That was the epitome of the Detroit-Seattle rivalry. They stole it from us. They're convinced we stole it back. And it's good stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I love the stories and the history, and it. I have a lot of friends now, boat racers across the country, and the rivalries are pretty much gone, but you can still banter back and forth, and it's pretty fun to do that. And I grew up with my dad telling me about the Detroit rivalries and the East Coast versus West Coast, and it meant a lot back then.
Absolutely, it meant a lot. Seafair would like to take this opportunity to thank the Oberto Sausage Company and the Oberto Specialty Meats Company. Oberto is proud to again be the official meat snack of Seafair. Whether on the shore or on the water for over 40 years, Oberto has been synonymous with Seafair. Oberto, how Seattle snacks since 1918. Boy, you're riding right along in the original Green Dragon. How about that?
So, and that looks like that's David Williams, I believe, driving the boat there. I mean, what a great set of weekends that he had, because last weekend we watched him driving the Griffin Budweiser, which he did a fantastic job. And I mean, he stood on it for a part of a straightaway, and I was in awe when I could just hear that Griffin bark to life. But now he's out in one of the Bardol boats. I mean, what a great way to spend the summer for recently retired David Williams.
You retire and you get to go drive vintage unlimited hydroplanes. That's not a bad gig. Not a bad gig. But those of you looking on the live stream, We probably don't have to tell you what is coming up next, because if you're got a keen eye there, you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 boats. 4 of our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes are in the water. The Beacon Plumbing presents the Maverick is in the water. The U-21 Beacon Plumbing presents KZOK is in the water. The Bucket List Racing is in the water. And the Madison on the left side of the screen there, the Royer Miss Madison, is just hanging over the water. So we're going to step it up a bit. We're going to go qualifying, and now it all starts, Mr. Eccles, because with our new race format, qualifying takes on even added importance, and everybody's going to be looking to get a good speed here.
Yeah, we're starting off with a clean slate right now, but here in about an hour, it's going to be awful dirty. So we'll see who can start out with a good weekend and get some good qualifying points and start this weekend off right.
One of the things that has changed with our new format, and it would have changed had we not changed the format at all, is the fact that our qualifying session number 1 for H1 Unlimited and the second qualifying session are now separated, and they're going to be separated by a day here. We'll go qualifying now, and then we'll have the second run for all these boats tomorrow morning. So they will have another opportunity to run, and the line is being let go of the U-21. The Beacon Plumbing presents KZOK. You're looking right down on Gunnar's boat. The lid is down. He is ready to go, and I think we're ready to go qualifying.
Yeah, they're not going to wait for us. He's ready to do it.
He is ready to get this done. So he is under power. He is away. And before he gets on the race course, Seafair would like to take this opportunity to once again thank Tulalip. My favorite line, Dustin, you're going to hear it a bunch this weekend, but it's so true. When all you want is everything, immerse yourself in Washington's premier gaming destination with AAA 4-diamond accommodations, a full-service spa, top-notch entertainment, and award-winning restaurants. It's Tulalip, and they are proud to be here at Seafair, and Seafair and all of us are very proud to have them on board. Thank you to Tulalip Resort and Casino. Gunnar O'Farrell, he takes center stage. He's going to go 3 times around. We take his fastest lap as his qualifying speed. We have to write him down in pencil because the boats do have to go through technical inspection. They'll check the fuel flow on the boat. They will also check the revolution, the N2, the output shaft speed of the turbine motor. But right now, Gunnar's not thinking about that. He's thinking about coming off the top end of the race course, getting a good head of steam and coming down and getting on the clock. Gunnar O'Farrell in the Beacon Plumbing presents KZOK.
Yeah, he's off to a quick start already. You can see the water, from my perspective, looks great, but you can see that boat ride is pretty active under Gunnar, so we'll see how those conditions affect the speeds.
That's got to get...
He got way out of shape there.
Yeah, he did.
Turn 1.
That's got to get your attention because you got to settle that boat down before you start turning left, right?
You do, yeah. You've got to have that skid fin really hooked in the water and have a little weight leaning on it before you really reef and turn left. So, yeah, he's got his hands full right now, and I don't know if that's water conditions. We'll see if the other boats are having the same issue, but you can watch that spray break off about 3/4 of the way up the sponsons, and that's not good. So that might just be water conditions, or it might be boat setup. We'll have to wait and see.
Pretty good line through the corner. Gunnar O'Farrell will come down and put lap number 1 of 3 in the books.
He's looking pretty good there. Yeah, he's got to settle down a little bit, so that might be some input of the driver of that front canard wing and just finding the happy spot for it. It's looking pretty nice after this first lap.
So the first one is in the books. He turned it at 135.069 miles per hour for Gunnar O'Farrell, and the U-21 Beacon Plumbing presents KZOK. And it's important to note, he does have to run all 3 laps. Even though he has to turn only 1 lap north of 130 miles an hour to qualify, he does have to complete 3 laps. Now, if he does that now, in our second qualifying session, he could go out and run just 1 single lap. But he does, to become qualified, has to have 1 3-lap qualification effort with a lap north of $130. First one, 135. We'll see if he improved on it. Dustin liked his boat ride better when he came down last time. Put Dustin on the spot here, and how about that? You're getting good at this stuff now. 137, 137.8.
And the other big key factor to this whole thing is being legal. You know, once he gets done here and he runs his 3 laps over 130 mile an hour average, the box goes into the tech truck, they download everything and make sure that he did it by the book. So that's the other half of this. He's got to make sure he's legal.
Well, he certainly looks good. He's off to a very good start with 2 of 3 in the book, and he's a quarter of a lap away from completing his complete qualification effort here. The boat looks good. He looks strong. And I think we're off to a good start in our qualifying session. 135 on lap number 1, 137 on lap number 2. Did he kick it up a little bit? Really like the colors on that boat coming right straight at you. Looks how about that?
There we go.
139.353 miles per hour. Got close to the 140 mark, but I think they've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, as long as that's a good legal run, I think they should be really happy, and they can make a few changes. They got a good run tomorrow morning. They can try to up it, you know, as long as they're in the field and move on from there.
So we'll see if Gunnar takes a quick left-hand turn here around the Grand Prix course, which he will do. And he will come out wide and come down to the pit area. I know you looked at the qualifying ladder. You got the boats. How about Jeffy? Is he up next?
Jeff is up next. The U12 Miss Graham Trucking should be the next boat on the ladder. And following the U12 will be the U40. Yeah, Brad, I like the colors on that boat also. It definitely stands out.
Looks good.
It does.
Well, Dustin, we just got done watching the first part of our Boeing Air Show, and it's a perfect time for Seafair to have an opportunity to say thank you to Boeing. Boeing has been a proud sponsor of Seafair from the very beginning. Boeing has roughly 65,000 employees in Washington State, more than anywhere else in the world. Thank you to Boeing for bringing us today's air show. And we certainly thank Boeing for all that they do, not only for Seafair, but in the community. Very, very active in the community. And Boeing is just a part of life here in the Pacific Northwest.
Absolutely. I know my family's a Boeing family. My dad recently retired from Boeing. And, yeah, Boeing has a lot to do with the Seattle area.
So we have just been told that the U12, the Graham Trucking, has passed on their opportunity to qualify. So next up on the ladder is the bright orange of Bucket List Racing. Those of you watching on the live stream can just barely see it there over the top of the dock. There you can see the top of the way, and you can see that it is away, and it is away from the dock. Dylan Runne will be out on the water. He turned a lap north of 150 miles per hour this morning. He'd like to see another one of those, maybe even a little quicker this time. But that bright orange, Tennessee orange, Bucket List Racing, a boat you know so darn well, and I know you always sit up a little straighter when this one's on the water.
I do. I'm supposed to be impartial, but, you know, honestly, and I think you can understand that this is one of my favorites. I spent a lot of time in this boat, and I know the team and just great people. So I want to see everybody do well out here, but I have to give a little extra for the old 40.
We'll allow that. We will most definitely allow that.
Now, I wonder, if, you know, with the 12 passed, usually they could run again at the end of the qualifying, but we're on a short schedule today. Are they going to be done for the day, you think, or do you think they'll have another opportunity, or do you know?
I think they will have another opportunity, but we're going to check on that with the officials because it's a very good point. They should, I think, get another opportunity. They will definitely have another opportunity tomorrow, but the question is whether or not they will have an opportunity today, still in round one.
Yeah, so important to get a time in today.
Absolutely it is. Dylan Runne on a clock, U40 Bucket List Racing. Those of you on the live stream are looking right down the barrel of that new white canard wing as he came right at you there, and he's already down into what we call the south turn here on the Ted Jones race course. And like that, he is through the turn. Boat looks good, Dustin.
Oh, looks fantastic. Yeah, he's got it settled down pretty good. And you can just tell that he's feeling good in this thing. He had a few hiccups earlier this morning, but when I talked to the team, they said, yeah, that's all minor. We're not worried about it. We shook it off and on to qualifying. He's looking really good.
Yeah, he is looking very good, and he's already up at the top end of the race course. Dylan Runne, young man out of Rumson, New Jersey. Chief Executive Officer of Phenom Digital, a company he founded many years ago. He has since sold it, but he stays on board as the CEO. Boat looks real good.
Yeah, he's just the right amount of loose right there. You know, he's crossing over the rollers, and he's not so heavy on the wing that it's pounding through it. He's actually flying over it, and it's reacting really nice. He's got a really good boat set up right now. He's
got a really nice speed, too, for lap number 1, 148.261 miles per hour. 148.261 for Dylan Runne in the bright orange Bucket List Racing, boat owned by Kelly and Sharon Stockland.
Yeah, he's got a good run here. He's got to tighten it up just a little bit. He's drifting out just a little bit, and you and I both know that every couple feet you move out, you're losing time. But the speed of the boat right now is really showing well.
So 2 up and 2 down with 1 to go. First lap, 148 miles per hour. Second lap, a little bit faster, 149.362, 149.362. Again, it's critical that they get these 3 laps in, and they are legal, because you have to have 3 laps legal to be qualified.
I think one thing that would help Dylan here, if he could set the boat up just a little early, like you said earlier, before you turn left and get on that fin, if you have the boat set up, he's still having a problem with his sponson walking even when he's starting to turn, so he's drifting out a few lanes because it takes a while to get set up in the corner, and I think if they can fix that, he's going to have a faster time.
Looks real good coming down the front chute, but you're right, he went wide up there at the top end. We'll see if it cost him. If he improved, he probably got to the 150 mark. He was at 149.3 and 149.123 miles per hour, so a little bit slower, and it may very well have been right up there at the top end. He took that corner a little bit wider, and every little bit cautious, like you and I were talking back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is a 2-mile race course, and we measure that race course on the top of the buoys, so we actually understate their average speed because they're obviously driving further than 2 miles because they're outside the buoys. Well, he went even further that time.
Yeah, and it's so easy to do. I mean, the boat just takes a little bit of a hop or a little bit of a maneuver. And, you know, the boats are so active on this short race course that it's hard to get them settled down and set up into the corner to make a good turn.
Boy, for those of you on the live stream, just take a quick glance at it there real quick. Holy cow. That's something that we in the Pacific Northwest fully enjoy when it's out. It's something special. That is 14,000 feet of Mount Rainier. Isn't that something?
That is pretty cool.
We're looking up. We can see Baker up to the left. It's hanging out. We can't quite see around the corner to Mount Rainier, but whoever picked up that shot, nicely done as Dylan Runne heads back toward the pit area.
And after the 40, we're going to have the U6 Royer Miss Madison on the course here shortly. They're in the water, ready to go.
They are. They will close the lid shortly. And the boat from Madison, Indiana, and it's very, very, very good to have the boat from Madison, Indiana out here. They haven't been here for a couple of years. Miss Madison Racing, great to have them out here, and that crew, the young crew. But they're learning, they're working. They got a good boat. They've got a good proven hull. They've got a team that's young, that's coming together. Everybody roots for them. Everybody's got a soft spot for them in their heart somewhere.
Like I said, they're one of the hardest working groups I've seen too. This morning when I got here first thing, it was all hands on deck. They were working away, just trying to get everything ready for this qualifying run this morning. So, yeah, they're a great group of people.
And they are away from the dock. Brandon Kennedy aboard the Royer Miss Madison.
They've made leaps and bounds this year so far. Like you said earlier, you know, at Madison they were having issues, and in testing back in Ohio they had trouble just getting this thing up on step, and he's done such a great job of adjusting and changing things with the boat ride and the way he drives to get this thing faster and faster. And you know, now he's just looking like a seasoned vet.
Sorry about that, Dustin. I stepped away. I'm trying to get confirmation on Jeff Bernard and his ability to come back out, time permitting. But I think we've got an hour to get this done, this qualifying session, and I think we will have enough time.
you think that would be of the utmost importance, because if they need to do a gearbox change or something to get into the final or into the heat, you know, you want to be able to do that overnight instead of thrashing it from your qualifying run to your heat run. We'll just have to wait and see, but as soon as we know, we will let you know. And Brandon Kennedy coming around, he's already got it wound up pretty good here. About lane number 2 as he comes off the exit pin, coming down to make a start here for the qualifying run. He's got it aired out just right.
Brandon Kennedy just got his driver's license this year. He got the paperwork signed. He's fully certified. He can go race with the big dogs and choose his lane and be out there like everybody else. So a new fine young driver coming up through the ranks and now getting his shot at the H1 Unlimited level.
A lot of times when a new driver gets qualified, some of the seasoned vets will kind of, you know, hold him at an arm's distance away and say, well, I don't know if I trust him. We'll let him get some laps in. And I have not heard one negative thing about Brandon's driving and his capabilities. Everyone here on the beach knows how good he is, and they're just proud to drive with him.
There's only 9 unlimited seats right now in the world, and he's got one of them, so that means he's one of the 9 best drivers on the planet as he flies across start-finish line, puts the first one in the books. I have got it confirmed from the chief referee that Jeff Bernard and the U12 Graham Trucking will be able to come out at the end of the ladder, time permitting. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how we're doing. But as quick as they're running the boats, I'm going to be optimistic here. And how about that? He goes out and turns a lap at 140.197, 140. And that's the quickest lap I think they have run today, to include testing this morning. And look how tight to the buoy row. Much nicer line through the corner. Brandon knows his way around a race course.
He does. He's carrying that right side, too. Like I said earlier, he's on the up pedal a lot. I was watching the onboard from last weekend, and he's very, very aggressive with trying to get that boat loose, and that's what makes it fast.
So the first lap, 140.197 miles per hour. Man, he just was right on top of that entrance pin, 142.7. And there's a perfect example of shortening this race course a little bit.
Well, he heard what you said about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and how you need to be on top of the buoys all the way around. So he's doing his best.
He was right on that one. So first lap at $140, second lap 142.7. That's our second quickest lap of this qualifying session so far. See where Brandon goes this time. Comes off a little bit wider, but still a pretty good line. Now looking at where it was versus the other ones, you could see on the live stream he's coming off almost in the same line. Brandon Kennedy, Royer, Miss Madison, comes across and completes his third lap. First one 140, second one 142, and the third one 140.839. So number 2 was the quick lap, 142.715. Assuming he goes through tech inspection and is legal, I think they got to be happy with it.
Absolutely, yeah, that was a great run, and you can just see that he's pushing the envelope. He's trying to make this course as small as humanly possible. He knows that's the fastest way around, and that's what it takes, just pushing the limit.
It's a 2.5 mile or 2 mile race course. He ran the 2.5 mile last week. He's going to tighten it up, but man, he was tight on that entrance pin. That's what we call painting the buoys.
Yeah, if he runs the whole course like he did lap number 2, he's running a 2.001 mile course.
Well, that would be a way to get her done. So Brandon Kennedy, a nice run. For the fans from Madison, Indiana, we want to say hello to all our friends back in the community of Madison, Indiana. We were back there just about a month ago and had a great weekend on the Ohio River. We danced around, boy, a lot of debris in the river. We had some rain, we had some challenges, but we got the APBA Gold Cup in, and it was a good one, and always a good time in Madison. It's always such a fun place to go.
I love going back there. It's so exciting, and each race that we have on our series brings a different level of excitement, and there's different challenges, and it's always so great to see that community come together and put on such a great event.
And it's just such a great little town. It's just so wonderful. I don't take my wife back there anymore because she spends 3 days on Main Street, and I pretty much have to take out another loan when we get home. She loves to go shopping there in the antique stores. And if you've never been to Madison, Indiana, and you have the opportunity, for a boat race is great. But even if you have the opportunity to go, I always call it a slice of Americana because it's like you step back 50, 60 years. It's very cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could not agree more. The first time I went, I was blown away, and I just look forward to it every year. It's great.
It's fun. So you're looking at the Strong Racing stable mount of the U3. The Beacon Plumbing presents the Tahoe Miss. Corey Peabody's ride is in the water. And, yep, Dustin's pointing to the screen there. If you look to the right, you can see the blue and yellow of the U11 FLAV-R-PAC. Are they up next?
They are.
He's nodding. He's got the numbers in front of him. Admittedly, he doesn't have real easy-to-read handwriting. We'll talk about what Dustin does when he's not here on the microphone, but he could certainly pass for a pharmacist with his writing over there.
As long as I can read it, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. That's the whole story right there. So, and you can actually see right behind Corey Peabody's ride there, on the Tahoe Miss, you can see the Beacon Plumbing presents the Maverick. It's right on the other side of the boat. Jamie Nilsen is away from the dock. Those of you on the shoreline are about to see a whole lot of blue and yellow. The boat that was just vastly improved a week ago in the Tri-Cities.
I'm excited for this one, Brad. This is going to be a good one.
Taken from you rubbing your hands together there. You're ready to go. Come on, Jamie, give us a show. This boat qualified, I want to say, 162 miles per hour a week ago. And Jamie said this morning, talking with our Danny Rogers, that they turned the fastest lap the team has ever run on this 2-mile race course in Seattle. They did that this morning, so they're off to a good start.
Yeah, and again, Scott Rainey is not the type of person to sit back and say, well, that's good enough. You know, he's gonna smile a little bit and get right back to work and say, okay, how do I make this thing faster? And Jamie's the guy to help him do that. So I think this is going to be a good combination, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I think what we're starting to see now that the boat is getting faster and faster, we're starting to see the driving ability of Jamie Nilsen. Everybody tells me this guy's great.
He is.
But he hasn't had the boat really underneath him to compete with some of these guys, and he's very rapidly getting to that level. It is the Miss FLAV-R-PAC. It is owned by Scott and Shannon Rainey. It is the U11, and he is on the clock right now for the first of 3 laps on the Ted Jones Racecourse and his qualification attempt here for the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair.
Yeah, he's up to a good start right now. He's got a good line around. Usually the first lap is not the fastest lap. It takes a little bit for the boats to get wound up, but he's off to a good start right now. He's carrying that left sponson quite a bit.
Yeah, and when he came out of the pit area, he took it pretty easy up the backstretch for about half of it, and then he started to get on it. So I don't think he brought as much momentum to the line as certainly he's going to bring to the line this time when he starts his second lap. But this is lap number 1. Jamie Nilsen, U11, Miss FLAV-R-PAC. Also got the Ronald McDonald House on the side of that boat, representing that organization in Western Washington and Alaska. Good-looking race boat as he goes into the south turn here on the Ted Jones Racecourse.
I like his line, too. He's going in just a little bit wider the first half of the corner, and then he tightens it up at the exit. And that's a real fast way to go. Let's see if it works out for him.
First lap speed for Jamie Nilsen, 144.592 miles per hour. 144.592. I was saying he went slow up the backstretch prior to that first lap, and I thought he carried a lot more momentum the last time across, so I'm venturing that this lap 2 might be a little quicker. But Jamie, as you like to say, he's usually very consistent.
He is, yeah. If you look at his lap time, you know, lap after lap after lap, they're very, very similar. But I do agree, he did hit the line pretty slow that first run. So we'll see what this one does.
Okay, I'm going to stop trying to predict things because that one was a tick slower at 144.227. So throw everything I said out the window.
Doesn't get more consistent than that, though. I mean,
no, that's true.
The same line. He's just getting as much out of that boat as it's underneath him. He's doing the best he can. And that's a good run. You know, that's nothing to be upset about.
I just love to watch him run in front of those boats on the log boom and just see how fast he goes by them. Jamie Nilsen, young man out of Gig Harbor, Washington, which is the southern end of Puget Sound. Scott and Shannon Rainey out of Cle Elum, Washington, that own the boat, and he's got 3 up, 3 down. They're in the book for the Miss FLAV-R-PAC. See what he gets on lap number 3. The quick one so far was 144.5, lap number 1, but lap number 3 stepped it up a bit. 146.240.
Yeah, nice run. The FLAV-R-PAC guys, the U11, they've got to be excited about that. And like I said earlier, they don't have a ton of equipment. They've got some great stuff, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is what they're going to go try to race with tomorrow, which is just fine because we all know that it's not top speed that's going to win this race. It's going to be boat ride, getting across the water, and accelerating in front of the rest of the field. The next boat on the ladder is going to be the U00.
J. Michael Kelly is up in the Beacon Plumbing, presents the Maverick. He will be out as you watch Jamie Nilsen come across the start-finish line. Again, we have to remind everybody all of our boats have to go through tech inspection, so we've written the speeds down in pencil. Right now, our ladder, our top boats, Dylan Runne, top speed 149, Jamie Nilsen. Second on the list with that lap at 146 that he just ran, Brandon Kennedy is number 3 at 142 miles per hour. And our fourth boat on the list, Gunnar O'Farrell at 139 miles per hour.
I do have confirmation, Brad, that the U21 and the U40 have cleared the truck.
Very good. So our top 2 boats, thank you very much, Dustin. Our top 2 boats have cleared the tech truck. Talking about that big, fast race course down in Guntersville, Alabama, which you know a little something about. I believe your number had a 7 in it, and it was in the second digit. Just got handed a note that says the U11's 2 fastest laps they've ever turned. Imagine this. They happened in Guntersville in 2023. Their quickest 164.977. Wow. But that race course, did you ever lift your foot? You just nailed it, didn't you?
No, you don't lift. You don't lift there. You just, like you say, point it and steer type of thing. That's a fast one.
Put a brick on the gas pedal and go ahead and play with the canard.
Yeah, I think, almost as cool as our 171 that we ran down there was years ago when we ran the 440 when we ran that 150. And that was such a victory for us because that little boat, we did the best we could with it. But that race course is what really makes, it shows what these boats are capable of.
And if memory serves me correctly, and we'll get, trust me, the stat man over here will straighten us out. But I believe when you did that 150, I remember that day well. That was not the big course, the big wide one.
It was not. No,
it was still the 2.5 mile course, but it was not. It was not near as wide where you could carry as much speed through the corner.
Yep, exactly.
I remember that. That was a great day.
It was for me. I was the biggest sigh of relief I ever made coming back to the pits when they finally told me on the radio that we did it. That was our whole goal was to run that 150, and we worked so hard to do it. So finally it happened, and that's everything we had. It was cool.
That's great. Good stuff. So our top 2 boats, the U40, Dylan Runne at 149 miles per hour. You can write that down in ink. That has cleared tech inspection, so he is officially qualified for the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. So is Jamie Nilsen in the U11, the Miss FLAV-R-PAC. His speed of 146.240 has also been verified by the tech truck. He's good.
That's the U40 and the U21 have cleared the truck. The U11 and the U6, they're still unofficial at this point. But
my bad on that one. I had that incorrectly. My apologies. So Dylan Runne in the U40 has cleared, as has Gunnar O'Farrell in the U21. The Beacon Plumbing presents KZOK.
Keep checking back on the U6. That one should be coming along shortly and sending some positive thoughts their way. Hopefully they can get into the field and then start working on making that thing faster and faster. Yeah, we are on a short schedule here, so hopefully we get the Beacon Plumbing Presents Maverick on the water here shortly.
And not only is there I see some umbrellas getting folded up down there. Here comes Mike. Mike is away in the U00. Beacon Plumbing presents the Maverick. Want to see somebody fly a boat? Watch the right side of this one coming down the front straightaway. He'll pick it up and wave it at you a little bit. He loves to do that, and he's very good at it.
Yes, he does. He knows how to get every little bit of boat speed out of whatever he's driving. He's great at it. And this, like we've said before, this is his race course. He's been so successful here that if there's someone that can do it, it's J. Michael Kelly.
J. Michael Kelly won 4 races in a row on Lake Washington. It was only ever done once before. 1970 to 1980, Bill Munsey in the Blue Blaster won 4 events here on Lake Washington in a row. J. Michael Kelly equaled the feat a few years ago, but all that's in the rearview mirror. He would like to just right now come out and lay down a nice hot lap or two. Never been the top qualifier. Something that kind of bothers him. He'd like to have that sometime, and this would be as good a time as any, Mike.
Yeah, he's on it right now. You can tell that he's focused and dead set on running a good time here.
Boy, nice boat ride. Look at that, solid.
And you can tell the boat's not reacting because the boat's not touching the water. So that's one way to keep it from not reacting off the waves.
Yeah, don't touch it. Oh, Beacon Plumbing presents Maverick at the lower end of the race course. Already like that, and this is where you were saying the strong boats have been very good. Their acceleration has been positive. It's been very good. It's been the top end where maybe they've been lacking, but here we have a shorter race course. It's going to reward that acceleration.
Yeah, and I don't know that their goal has been top end. You know, these guys are all about making their boats raceable, making them accelerate and get it to where if they make a good start and get out front, nobody can catch them. So he's running a perfect line right now, and he's doing just what he needs to do.
J. Michael Kelly. This looks good to me, but he's got a nice boat ride. He's flying it. Got the first one in the books. We'll get a speed for you shortly. Reminding everybody the top speed on the ladder right now is J. Michael Kelly. He is the top speed on the board right now. That lap at 149.557. Boy, he'll like that. Now back it up with another one just a tick faster. You'll see the 150 mark. J. Michael Kelly, young man out of Bonnie Lake, right here in the great state of Washington. Kelly with a nice line through the corner.
Yeah, beautiful turn from J. Michael Kelly. Great turn, great exit, and look at how smooth that boat ride is right now.
Kelly's got 2 in the books. He is on lap number 3. First one, 149.5. Next one, a tick slower, about a mile per hour off the pace. He's at 148.4 on that one. So his first lap was the quickest at 149. He'd love to go through the 150 mark. Mike is on lap number 3 of 3.
I think he'll get it here. He's so close. He's so focused, and see if he just keeps it nice and tight here on the corners. He's drifting out just a little bit, but still a really good line. Yeah, nice job.
J. Michael Kelly, they call him JMK. They call him awfully fast, too, when he runs like that. Kelly with 3 up and 3 down. And that 3-lap qualification attempt is complete. Another 148, so the first one, usually it's the third one. First one this time was the quickest, and I think you remember and watched it, and so did I. I liked his line through that first lap better than the other 2.
Yeah, and I mean, again, the speeds are so consistent, that kind of tells you that's what the boat has in it. That's not like J. Michael was doing something a little off or he messed up a corner or something. If it's the same, that's what he's got.
Reminding everybody that our boats do have to go through tech inspection. We've had 2 boats clear. Dylan Runne in the U40 bucket list has cleared tech inspection. So has Gunnar O'Farrell in the U21 Beacon Plumbing presents KZOK. as Mike brings that beautiful hydroplane back toward the pit area down at Stan Sayers off to our right. Seafair would like to take this opportunity to thank Barnhart Cranes. Barnhart Crane is one of the largest heavy lift and heavy transport organizations in the United States with over 50 years of service to our community and customers. Barnhart prides itself on providing innovative solutions for its customers' needs. Seafair thanks Barnhart Cranes for your support of the 2026 Seafair event.
We'll have to see if they make the next boat on the ladder run any faster, because I know that the U12 is going to run if there's time left at the end, but we've got a little over 20 minutes left, so we'll have to see how fast they push the last few boats through. That air show, there's no moving that around.
That trumps all.
Yeah.
So Mike is back at the dock. You see Corey Peabody's Beacon Plumbing presents Tahoe Miss in the foreground there. Right behind it, you can see the blue cowling of the U-27, the Miss Apollo. And then somewhere over there, the U-1, the BWR Racing. Oh, now I see it. It's right over the top of where it says Tahoe on the cowling of Corey's boat. You can see the white cowling there of the U-1 BWR Racing. We're just getting underway here at the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. It is our qualifying session for our H1 Unlimiteds. We've had 5 boats hit the water. We've had 5 good speeds. We're just slowly ticking them off as they pass tech inspection.
Still waiting for the officials to come back on the U6, U11.
Here we go. Our fans on the H1 live stream are watching that famous 150 mile per hour lap in the little boat, the 440. So now critique this one. Tell me what kind of a line you're getting through the corner here, young man.
He's doing a terrible job. No, for this run, if I remember right, we put a giant propeller on, and Kelly said, I hope this thing will pull it because this thing is a monster. And I couldn't hold it quite on the buoy line, but I was about where I needed to be just to keep the RPMs of the engine up and just keep that little boat going. It's about 2,000 horsepower and 4,000-pound boat compared to these big monster 7,000-pound boats and 3,000 horsepower. So power to weight we had it, but trying to get it to all work together was quite the challenge. And the team worked really hard to make this happen. And the 150 was our goal. And J. Michael Kelly's dad, he made us a friendly wager earlier in the season. He says, there's no way that boat will ever go 150, and he gladly paid the wager at the end of that weekend. It was cool.
There it was, 150 miles per hour on Lake Guntersville in Guntersville, Alabama. Yeah, that had to be a good day for you and that team.
It was, yeah. That was our highlight, and as boat racers, we always chase what's next, and that was kind of with that boat. We said, well, we did it. We had some great races back then, and we had different goals back then. But it was a lot of fun, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Now you're back looking live at the Stan Sayers Memorial Pit area, and you're looking at the U3. The Beacon Plumbing presents Tahoe Miss. The lid is down on that boat. So we expect Corey to start moving out, and here he comes. Corey Peabody, away from the Stan Sayers pits in the Beacon Plumbing, presents the U3, the Tahoe Miss. This is a fast race boat. This boat's been getting a little bit quicker. I like some of the things they showed and did in the Tri-Cities last week. Corey is a competitor. Corey had, let's just say by his own admission, it wasn't his best year last year, and he was pretty frustrated. And even in our preseason interviews with the young man, it wasn't the normal jovial Corey Peabody. Oh, he's still got his sense of humor, but he's really focused, and things have not gone their way so far in the 2026 season. I know nobody would be happier than Corey Peabody if he could get back on track here and win in Seattle, where it's been a tough place for him. He's had some hard luck here.
Yeah, he has, but he's got a great team behind him, and he's got some great equipment. It's just, like you said, just trying to get everything to work together to get back on track. That's the hard thing. And once he gets there, he'll be unstoppable again, but just got to get back there.
Corey Peabody, U3, Beacon Plumbing presents the Tahoe Miss. He heads down to the bottom end of the race course. He is now on the clock for the first of 3 times around this 2-mile Ted Jones race course on what is an absolutely gorgeous Lake Washington on a picture-perfect postcard day here for Greater Seattle and Western Washington in general. Corey ripping up the backstretch. I like the boat ride. It looks pretty solid to me, Dustin Eccles.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, the boat ride is just ideal. You can see him setting up into the corner, and he's just absolutely smooth as silk. As good as it gets. He corrects a little bit at the exit there. He scrubbed a little bit of speed, but he had to tighten it up, so hopefully he can set up a little bit better in this corner and just make a nice arc all the way through if he wants that top time.
Just like that, Corey Peabody's got 1 in the book.
Man, they're all the same. They are so much parity.
Corey Peabody, first lap, 149.074. So as it stands right now, and totally unofficial, we've got the top 3 boats sitting at 149 miles per hour. Let's see if he tightens this up a little bit.
Yeah, that's a better turn there. You can watch I keep going back to the wall of water. I mean, you don't see it change. It's nice and smooth all the way through. He's not disturbing the boat ride. He's carrying that speed. He's not scrubbing any speed. He's trying to carry that front end right now and get it out of the water to keep the boat accelerating into that corner.
So his first lap, 149. Second lap, here we go, 151.076 miles per hour. 151.076. There is your quickest lap so far in our qualification session.
Yeah, that just shows you the little tiny things that you're doing during these runs make such a big difference. You know, if you're not oversteering, you're not correcting, you just let the boat just run nice and smooth. Yeah, look at.
Yeah,
it's just every little change you make really shows on the leaderboard here.
And just like that, Corey Peabody has put in 3 laps on the Ted Jones race course. First lap 149, second one 151. Checking out lap number 3. Pending tech inspection, he's still sitting atop the ladder. Third one's a little quicker yet, 151.422, 151.422 miles per hour for Corey Peabody.
And I do have an update, Brad. The U11 cleared the truck. The U6 is still pending, so I don't know if they're double checking some data or looking at it, whatever. They jumped across. They looked at the 11. The 11's good, and we'll come back to the 6.
Thank you, Dustin. He is monitoring the official statistics on our communication device that we have here.
Yeah, Corey's got to be really happy with that run. The boat ride looked so nice, and it looked like whatever inputs he's putting into it, the boat's responding well, and that's what you're looking for out here. Just needs to be able to get through this rough stuff.
Well, next up is the young man out of Michigan, Andrew Tate, and the BWR Racing, our defending national high points champion. The boat U1. It is black, white, and gold. It's a beautiful unlimited hydroplane. He's going to make sure that Corey Peabody is not going to be in front of him before he comes out. And then how much of this, Dustin, is they want to sit there as long as they can and let the lake lay down. And they are on a clock down there. They can't sit there and just wait 20 minutes.
Yeah, it is definitely a clock that everyone's watching very closely. And you want to let the lake settle as much as humanly possible, because we spoke about how rough Lake Washington gets out here, especially on a Friday afternoon. And every minute they're waiting, the waves are dissipating from the boats that just ran, but also one more person's getting off of work and grabbing their boat to come on out here to the log boom to watch the races. So it's kind of a crapshoot at this point.
They're slowly dissipating, but if you looked up toward the Grand Prix course up there, there were some great big rollers up there, and they were cascading over with some big white caps on them, and that kind of stuff they don't want rolling out onto the race course when they're trying to lay down a hot lap. So they will stay there as long as possible, and those of you watching on the live stream can see the BWR Racing. It is on the left of those two boats. The lid's still up, and they're just waiting.
Yep, they're going to wait as long as the officials let them wait, and hopefully just let the water settle down. You see this when someone's on a good run and everything's going perfect, and they hit a wave and bounce out a lane, and all of a sudden you can lose a mile an hour or two off your overall time because you bounced out. And all it takes is one mistake like that to happen. So if they can let the water dissipate, that's going to be the way to move the time up.
There you get a good look. Those of you on the live stream get a look toward the north end. And that's what's going on above or beyond the floating bridge and toward the other floating bridge. There was another floating bridge further north than the one you're seeing on our screen here on the race course, and that's what's going on between the two bridges, and that is lovely Mount Baker.
And that's a lot of people enjoying their Friday here in Seattle, just having a perfect day on the lake. That's exactly what it's all about.
That's my stomping grounds up there. That's where I come from.
Is that the Kenmore area?
Well, not quite that far up. It's Sand Point and up above the University of Washington there off of 45th. That was home for me.
Yeah, it's a great area. Great look at Mount Baker, too. That's fantastic.
We are very fortunate to live here and be around on days like this and enjoy this. But as we wait for Andrew Tate to get the lid down, and here he comes, all I had to do was say that, Seafair would like to take this opportunity to thank Apollo Mechanical Contractors. Apollo Mechanical Contractors is proud to sponsor Seafair. 45 years strong, we support our communities and the people who build great things. Ranked number 5 in the nation, we are growing nationwide while staying true to who we are. Apollo Mech, ApolloMech.com. Apollo Mechanical Contractors, thank you from Seafair, and thank you from all our race fans for your participation and your sponsorship of the Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. Well, this will be interesting, young man. I don't know. You are much closer to these teams than am I, but I don't know that in my time down there all day yesterday and in the pit area and talking to everybody, I didn't see anybody any more focused than this particular race team. I had a conversation with some of their people up here this morning, and they said, this is going to be different. They're hungry. They really want one.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. Andrew Tate is not the type of guy to sit back in second place and say that's good enough. And he knows that boat is absolutely fantastic, and he's going to put it out front if he can.
Well, he's on the clock, and another guy who knows just how fast that boat is his teammate, Jimmy Shane. He spent a lot of time behind the wheel of that one, so he knows exactly what Andrew Tate's driving. And I'm sure he's watching him right now, although Jimmy Shane's watching him from the cockpit of the U-27. That boat is already at the dock. They are ready to go. Our top board, our top speed on the live view leaderboard, Corey Peabody, 151.4. He has yet to clear tech, but right now that's the speed that sits atop the ladder. Can Andrew Tate take a swing at it here? He's going to give it a try. Good line through the corner.
Great line. Yeah, and something you'll notice in the corners with this boat especially, the turn spray is not quite as high as some of the other boats, but he's not sliding sideways. He's using that momentum to carry himself forward. That's one of the reasons why this thing goes through the corner so fast.
He flew the boat just as he got it down to the lower end of the race course. First lap, 155.820 miles per hour. I don't think he's done yet either.
No, not by a long shot. He's just getting wound up.
155.820. So there's your fastest lap during the qualifying session here. Andrew Tate up at the top end of the race course quickly. He is trying to send a message up and down pit row, and right now that message is being delivered airmail. It's coming in quick. Here comes Tater. He'll come down a complete lap number 2. First one, 158.8.
the acceleration off that corner was like something I have never seen before. It looked absolutely perfect, and he accelerated from the apex to the exit.
If he gets through this lower corner better, and I think he did versus the first lap, second lap, 156.9, so a little more than a mile per hour quicker. And actually, I like his line and the way he got through turn 1 better on this third lap than the other two, but I've been swinging and missing today too.
Oh, he's fast. This thing is just, it is on a rail right now. I can't wait to see this last lap.
Yeah, he's rolling. Our defending national high points champion, he is Andrew Tate. The boat, BWR Racing, sponsored by Bruce Ratchford. First lap, 155. Second lap, 156. And lap number 3, 156.982, so a tick faster, and there's your fastest lap of our qualification session so far, 156.982.
What a run.
What a run.
Look at the whole field and how stacked together they are until Andrew gets on the race course and just blows it out of the water. That's incredible.
So right now, the live view leaderboard says Andrew Tate's got the top speed, has not yet cleared tech, but right now the speeds, regardless of tech inspection, Tate sits at the top at 156.9, so darn near a 157. Corey Peabody is number 2 at 151.4. Then it's J. Michael Kelly, 149.5. Dylan Runne, 149.3. Jamie Nilsen, 146.2. Brandon Kennedy, 142, and Gunnar O'Farrell at 139.
And this is going back to what we spoke about earlier. The 12 passed earlier. Now they get to run if there's time. Is there going to be time? We've just over 5 minutes left of this session. Jeff Bernard is hoping that these guys just go out and run with that rough water. He's saying go, 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 but they want to let it smooth down.
Yeah, and I was hoping the drone would pull that camera view back, because the only way that Bernard would be able to run is if he was in the water right now.
And he would, if he does have time to run, he would have to run in the slop, because I don't think they're going to let it, dissipate and settle down. So this could play into it. This is all part of the strategy going into the race weekend.
Yeah, and I think they're ready to go on the U-27. They haven't get everybody off the boat.
And again, another update here, Brad. The U-00 has cleared the truck. Still no word on the U-6.
Still waiting on Brandon Kennedy. And the Goodman Real Estate presents Royer Miss Madison. Well, here's the last boat on our qualifying ladder. Here's the boat that won the Gold Cup in Madison. Here's the boat that won the 2026 Columbia Cup last week in the Tri-Cities. And right now, he's the boat to beat.
And for the first time all season, whether you believe it or not, he's running on the course that this boat was designed for, right? So those other courses that he mastered, that didn't mean anything. So I can't wait to see what he can do on the clock. When he said that earlier, that, well, this boat was actually made for the shorter courses, I had to take a step back, and I looked over at Brad like, well, what did it do on the other courses then, where it had the disadvantage apparently?
Yeah, apparently so. Yikes. And then there's the whole conversation of what's going to happen when they dial this thing in.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy gets used to it.
Yeah, I'm still shaking the rust off, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. He was away for 4 years. It is the Miss Apollo. It's the U-27. It is owned by Bruce Ratchford out of the Tri-Cities of BWR. Man, and here he comes. This boat, if you've never seen it run, don't take your eyes off it. This boat is something special. U-27, Jimmy Shane on the clock in the Miss Apollo, coming right into your living room, those of you watching on the live stream.
And see how much canard he's using. That drone view really shows you that he's on the canard all the way down the straightaway, and even using that much, it's not burying in the nose. It's still just perfect. He's got that much input. Great setup.
Picking up that left side. He's reacting a little bit, as you like to say.
Yeah, you see it porpoising like that. That's what you don't want. But Jimmy does a great job of correcting, and look at him on the buoy line. Doesn't get any better than that.
Man. Jimmy Shane, U-27 of Miss Apollo, top speed so far. Andrew Tate, his teammate, 156.9. Whoa, he flew it across start-finish line. Get his first lap speed, top one so far. And Shane's got it at 152, 152.9. You surprised by that?
I'm a little surprised. I mean, the boat looks so good right now. It looks incredible. I'm surprised it's not faster. Wow, look at him fly that thing. What a job. And you can really see from that angle how they crab down the straightaways too. You know, he's working the whole time.
Look how close he goes to the buoy row there. This boat, one of the things about it is it corners so very, very well. Jimmy drives it so very, very well. And he's got 2 up and 2 down with 1 to go. First lap, 152.9. He'd love to get above his teammate, who sits at 156.9, and he upped it a little bit, 154.155, 154.155. He needs almost 3 miles an hour to top teammate Andrew Tate.
And I can bet you right now that he's pushing that throttle pedal right through the bottom of the cockpit, trying to get every little bit out of it that he can. But he's doing a perfect job of driving it on the course. He's making the course as short as humanly possible, and he's flying the boat as loose as it can go. So he's just got to be proud of what he did here.
Jimmy Shane, U-27 Miss Apollo, is across for lap number 3. First one was 152.9. Second one, 154.1. He's hoping for something better than a 156. He didn't get it. He's 155, 155.766.
Did you hear that? Because I just heard Andrew take a giant deep exhale from across the lake here.
Is that what I heard? And don't think for a minute he wasn't watching. Don't think for a minute he's up in the truck taking his driver's seat. Oh no. Oh no, he was right down there watching every step of the way. Well, that was an interesting qualifying.
Yeah.
And right now, how about that for timing? Our clock just struck 0 on the qualification period for H1 Unlimited, which I think that does not bode well for Jeff Bernard in the U12, the Graham Trucking. Water time, as we have said here at Seafair, is at a premium. And we are going to yield to the air show here quickly. We're at 3:30.
And really quick, Brad, word back, the U3 has also cleared the truck. So still waiting on the 6 and the U1 to clear the truck. And also, of course, Jimmy Shane needs
the
to clear.
27. Very good.
Yeah, what an exciting hour of qualifying. And
that was good.
We get to start the day off tomorrow with another hour, at least close to the beginning. Tomorrow is another hour.
Yep, we get to do it again. And everybody will have an opportunity to run again, to include the U12 Graham Trucking and Jeff Bernard. And he will need to turn his 3 laps and make sure he gets above the 130 mark, which is not going to be an issue. Not sure why they chose to pass on their first qualification attempt, but they did. They will have another opportunity tomorrow. So qualifying is in the books, at least unofficially. And Andrew Tate in the U1 BWR Racing sits atop the ladder pending tech inspection at 156.9. Then it's teammate Jimmy Shane at 155.7. Corey Peabody is third on the list at 151 miles per hour. His teammate, J. Michael Kelly, is right behind him at 149.5. Then Dylan Runne at 149.3. Jamie Nilsen, 146.2. Brandon Kennedy still pending tech at 142.7. And rounding out our 8-boat field that qualified, Gunnar O'Farrell at 139.353. So we had 9 boats that wanted to qualify. 8 got it done, at least unofficially. We will keep monitoring H1 Unlimited and let you know the moment they clear. But all in all, that was a good hour.
Oh, it was fantastic. And just looking at how the ladder would shape up right now if we started our heats, we wouldn't have teammates racing against each other, but
Nope.
we would have some pretty stacked heats. But I'm just curious on how this is going to play out tomorrow. If somebody's going to try to leapfrog, you know, Dylan Runne, we know that they can run faster. I think Jamie Nilsen can run faster. And, of course, Kennedy and O'Farrell, they're going to step their times up also. So how is that going to mix up the ladder? We'll see. And these other guys on the top of the leaderboard, they're no slouches, but they ran pretty hard today. They'll have cooler air tomorrow. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, and your point is well taken, and this is where the new race format's going to come into play tomorrow morning, because right now your top 2 boats on the ladder, pending tech, are the teammates of Bruce Ratchford Racing, that being Andrew Tate and Jimmy Shane. And the way we race boat number 1 versus number 3 versus 579, Tate and Shane would not race against each other in the first section of heats. And the same can be said for Corey Peabody and J. Michael Kelly, as they are qualified number 3 and number 4. But right behind J. Michael Kelly, by 0.2 of a mile an hour, and it's actually less than 0.2 of a mile an hour, is Dylan Runne. If he was to go out there and up his speed only slightly and jump in between Peabody and Kelly, I think we might see a move down there on behalf of Strong Racing. They would prefer not to run their 2 boats against each other.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And the one thing they'll have going for them is I believe Dylan Runne will run before the strong boats, so at least they can kind of gauge their reaction off of how he runs. But I would not be surprised to see some of these times get bumped up tomorrow, and that'll mix everything up.
Yeah, and don't forget Jamie Nilsen in there, so a lot could happen. And Runne, he could jump both Kelly and Peabody. That's only a 2 mile an hour increase. So anything is within the realm of possibility. But that's part of this new format, and that's what we like. There's a lot more emphasis on qualifying, and you and I'll do our best to point it all out to everybody and keep you listed as to, it's not just increasing a speed for bragging rights. It's increasing a speed which is going to change who is going to race against who in our preliminary heats. So that's all a part of the fun stuff we get to talk about and watch tomorrow.
Absolutely. And so Jeff Bernard earlier ran, I'm seeing a 146. I'm trying to look for his legal run, a 144, actually a 145.2. So if he ran the same tomorrow, he would be right underneath Dylan Runne or Jamie Nilsen. So that would mix it up a little bit too. And I suppose that they didn't run today because they know what they need to do to make it faster. So it's up in the air right now where he's going to be.
And I'm sure that those top 4 boats, if you offered it to them, they'd say, no, we're fine. No more qualifying. We're done. We're good. No, the strong boats aren't the top qualifiers. And no, Jimmy Shane's not the top qualifier, but they're in a good spot, meaning they're not running against each other. So I think they'd be happy with that, but it just takes one guy, Dylan Runne, to go out there and throw a monkey wrench right in the middle of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, anything can happen. I think tomorrow with the cool weather, that's going to change everything. And I think today the teams knew that they had all night to change gearboxes. They could make some big changes. So today they could throw some unknowns at it, and then tomorrow go back to what they know works. So it's going to be a brand new day, and I mean, anything could happen at this point.
So you're watching H1 Unlimited's coverage of the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. You're watching on YouTube, and also our fans here along the shoreline listening to us on the public address system. Everybody who is watching on the live stream is very jealous of all of you people here on the shoreline to get to see it in person, and especially on a day like we have here today. This is absolutely spectacular. And Seattle is showing well today, Mr. Eccles.
It is. This is the place to be right now. And I can't thank you enough for inviting me up here on the start-finish line, because I've never seen this view before, and it's incredible. And just looking around at all the fans on the beach enjoying themselves, I mean, this is the place to be.
During the lunch break, I went for a walk up the beach. I interacted with some fans. I had a couple of people come up to me and congratulate all of us here on the tower for our H1 production this year. We got some kudos on what we're putting out in the video, and fans are liking what we're doing, so we got to keep it going.
Yeah, no, this is great. I've heard the same thing just walking around, and it just seems like everyone is enjoying themselves and looking forward to some really close competition.
So our qualifying was supposed to go to 3:30. And the Blue Angels are supposed to come on at 3:30. It's now 3:37, so that happens on time. And so I am sure things are happening over at Boeing Field, just on the other side of the hill behind us. And I am told we have a feature coming up on the screen. Let's take a look at, I don't know what's, oh, I know what's coming now. You know what it looks like to run a lap at 171 miles an hour. I have no clue, but I think I'm about to find out. So what you're watching on the H1 live stream is...
Yeah, it was a fun time. This is another really fun one, and we upped our 150, and we ended up going out and running 171. We had a great time doing it too. That was just a great time.
That had to be a big day. It had to be a good day. You earned it, 171 miles per hour. But now it is time for Take to the Air with the Blue Angels Air Show, the Boeing Air Show at Seafair. It's a big feature of the Seattle Seafair event. We don't want you to miss it. Let's send it down to Mark Christopher on top of the tower in the pit area. Mark, my friend, take it away, bud. Hello, race fans, and welcome back to Seattle, Washington, and Lake Washington in South Seattle. I'm Brad Luce. I'm joined now by Brent Hall. Still got Dustin Eccles down there at the other end. Danny Rogers is going to come join us a little bit later. But next up on our schedule, we've got Grand Prix racing. And Dustin, I know you've got the lineup there for Heat 1A. Why don't you run that by us and tell us who's going to come out here in our first heat of Grand Prix racing?
Yeah, in Heat 1A, we're going to have the GP 35 Brandon Kennedy, in the GP 17 of awesome Austin Eckert, and the GP 15 of Greg Hopp.
We were supposed to have GP 235, and that was going to be Mr. Brent Hall. Brent, we saw you out during qualifying. The boat looked like it was running like a rocket. What happened?
Yeah, well, first I'm hurt. My name is crossed off there. So, no, we push these boats hard, and we dropped a cylinder, so there's metal flakes throughout the lines. You don't want to put another motor in that. That's a $65,000 mistake. So we're going to put it on the beach for the weekend, and I get to hang out with you.
You do indeed. So the racing's loss is our gain because we get you up here, and we are inside. In fact, we're inside 4 minutes, coming up on 3 to the start of Heat 1A of Grand Prix racing here at the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. I'm sorry, Brent. I think all of us up here just want to say we're sorry. I know you were anxious. I know you wanted to race here in your hometown and in front of all your friends and family, and tough break.
It is, but you know what? You live and learn. We have a great team with Cool Cat Motorsports, and Ed and Andrea Thompson. They support me. They're sadder than anybody, so we're just going to figure it out and drop the motors in Chicago and be ready for San Diego.
There you go. Well, you are joining us on the Bill Myers Memorial Broadcast Studios on the start-finish line tower here. We are up at 2 minutes and 30 seconds to the start. We're going to go 3 times around. That's correct, right?
3 times around,
Three times around the course. And you know these guys. You know these boats. Everybody's tired of listening to Dustin and I. Who do you like?
Yeah, boy, Brandon Kennedy's super tough. His qualifying lap, 134. He's pushing it. But my buddy in Cool Cat, he is trying to save something for him in the final, but Brandon sure has put a statement out there for sure.
He has indeed, and he's going to be joined out there by the likes of awesome Austin Eckert. Kevin Eckert's going to be out there, so there's a lot of speed still on the water as our fans at home watch awesome Austin and the Miss Runne come across start-finish line. Little timing run to the line.
Yeah, now Austin I talked to just a few minutes ago, and he was reflecting on his Seafair win last year. He has something for this course. Dustin, I think you were talking about there might be some game plan there. What do you think Austin might do to put himself out front?
Well, they found a bunch of speed out of that boat. We spoke about it a little bit earlier, and I think he's going to use that to his advantage, and they can put some big gears, big propeller, and get some good boat speed. But we keep saying it also, you can never, ever count out the hopper. So this is going to be a good heat, and, my money right now, it's on Austin.
Okay, all right. No, I like it. The technology that these guys are using, this is something Dustin and I were talking about a minute ago. Gearbox versus straight shaft.
Yep.
And the Hops for years have run, inline, no gears, but they cut down on limited props, and they've had good success with that. Brandon has really kind of paved the way with the...
So we're inside 1 minute, coming up on 50 seconds until our start. Brandon Kennedy will be in lane number 1. Austin Eckert will be in lane 2. Greg Hopp, and you guys were just talking, never count him out. That boat in a straight line's as quick as anything. He'll be driving the low-profile yellow boat on the outside, the Thai Ginger. And we are about ready to go racing here, coming up on 30 seconds. You guys like where they are?
I do. Greg's getting out there because he wants to make sure from the outside that he gets to the line on time. So I like what Greg's doing there.
Yeah, Austin had a tough time making a good start last week, and he is laser focused on nailing this one right on the money.
If you haven't ever seen a hydroplane race before, it's all done on a clock start. They want to put their boat on the start-finish line in 10 seconds. They don't want to be across the line before the light strikes 0. They're coming to the line inside 5 or 3, 2, 1. Mark, and it's a good-looking start. Everybody's legal, and it is Greg Hopp going to break the clock and the Thai Ginger on the outside, but he's got a lot of speed off to his left, guys.
Oh, yeah.
3 wide, I love it.
Brandon Kennedy laced it on the inside. He's pulling ahead of the GP17 just by a little bit, but look at awesome Austin Eckert right on his outside. He's not letting him go.
Boy, he found some extra boat speed, like you said, Dustin. This is a good race.
Boy, and you talk about the advantage of the lane position. You just saw a big chunk of it right there in the lower corner. Not only is Brandon Kennedy's boat really fast, but he's got that inside lane. And Austin is down.
Oh.
We've lost Austin up at the entrance pin to turn number 2 on lap number 1. Hopper's going to go by him, and right now it is all Brandon Kennedy in the GP35.
Man, that is a heartbreaker for
It
Austin.
is.
I mean, they've had such good luck so far. They lost a blower belt last weekend. Hopefully it's something simple.
Yeah, definitely. Boy, I tell you, Brandon was talking on Chasing Tails. He's like, yeah, I'm going to come out west, and he's making a statement here. This is a very strong run, and he's got first wrapped up, and you've got Greg Hopp who's going to come in second. Got to keep everything going.
Yeah, Brandon scored the victory a week ago over in the Tri-Cities. He'd love nothing more than to back it up with a win here on Lake Washington and go, yeah, that was a good trip out west.
Yep. Yes, sir.
He's going to be tired. I think he's going to be sleeping on the airplane after driving an Unlimited and Grand Prix for a bunch of weekends in a row. I mean, he's got a lot of laps under his belt.
And being a dad. Man, I see all the posts. I'm like, man, you take care of the kids and do all this? Well, actually, his wife does a lot of that, but I see him spending time, which is great. It's great to see it's a family affair.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we thought was going to be a very competitive Heat 1A, unfortunately, has had some attrition to it. We lost Brett Hall before the heat even got started with what happened earlier, and then unfortunately Austin Egret is drifting at the top end of the race course. Our boats are spread out. We are on the third and final lap of our first heat of racing here at the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. It's our Grand Prix racing, and you're looking right down the barrel of Brandon Kennedy as he comes right at you in your living room.
What a pretty shot.
Great
That's
shot
amazing.
there by the drone, and now he'll hang it left and head by as he will come down, look up above my head. I see the checkered flag up there. He'll come down and pick up a victory in Heat 1A. Brandon Kennedy, the GP35. That one looked easy.
Yeah, it did. Making it, like I said, a strong statement. Greg collecting points. That's what you want to do. Boy, excited for more racing, though. This is going to be good.
Absolutely. Don't judge the GPs on that one. There's a lot of speed down there in the pit area. There's a lot of speed in this heat that we didn't get to see. And Austin Egret, we hope it's nothing too drastic and something that they can fix as the hopper comes off the top end of the race course. GP15 Ty Ginger. Greg Hopp will come home in second place.
That right there is a great example of what makes the Hopp team so successful, though. They, when you look back on that heat, you don't know if it was a deck-to-deck race and he finished second or if he was a long ways back, but he saved his engine, he saved the equipment, and he's going to be really fast in the finals. We know they're just so smart. They're such smart racers that they don't use the equipment when they don't need to. So great job by Greg Hopp and the Ty Ginger boat putting on a good show. And this next one's going to be good. This next heat coming up, your teammate Brent, we have the 135. What's John's outlook on this weekend? What's his goals? What's his thoughts?
I think John is just, I'm gaining on it. He doesn't want to go out there and just put his foot to the floor, and he knows that he's got a good boat. He just needs to learn it. And so I appreciate that sentiment. That's what he should be doing, and he's getting faster every time. So I think John's gonna show something here too. I think you'll see a statement from the 135. I was gonna comment on something you had said. Austin, and boy, we hope there's nothing seriously wrong with the boat, but there is quite a family that helps each other. So we've all spent the last couple days at Richards Racing, and actually the motor that's in Greg's boat is one of Richard Racing's motors because he broke one last weekend. But a lot of people don't understand how much these teams help each other. Richards Racing rolled out the red carpet for both the 135, the 235, and then also helped the Hops. So that's how this racing works. We do it together.
You want to win the race out there on the water.
That's
you don't
right.
want to win it in the pit area with a boat on the truck.
Yep. So luckily, that shop isn't that far away, so we can get Austin back if it's that serious. He can, go to work, and you'll definitely see him tomorrow.
I guess the big complaint I have in the whole thing is You guys are right down the road. I live about 3 miles away, and I never got a phone call. So I really appreciate that.
You know, we had some pizza. Okay, note to self. I will invite Dustin. Matter of fact, he is saying, like, you know, you need to invite me into stuff. You need to put me on Telegram. I hear it.
I just want to be a part of it when the grinding is done.
Yes.
And the oil cleanup and all that's done.
Okay. Hey, what y'all doing? Yeah, here comes Dustin, Mr. You know, you are a lot cleaner this year. I'm just going to say,
It's
like,
amazing.
there's no dirt on your fingernails.
It's amazing.
I tell you what, this guy.
Welcome to my partner up here.
Right? Yeah, doesn't touch anything. Has a backpack. That's it. I got it.
Yep.
That's exactly right. So we've got 3 more boats ready to go. You guys have got the lineup down there. Why don't we run through it in the order of our lanes and let our fans know what's coming up. What do you guys got there?
Yeah, so for 1B, we have someone I know very well, John Shaw in the Cool Cat Motorsports GP 135, and some logos will be switching over to that. We're going to talk about that here in a bit. And then we've got the GP10, the Freak. Boy, I tell you, Egret, he has found some speed. Kevin is.
He's got some speed.
He's got some speed, and he's getting after it. And then you got Chris Grant. Chris Grant in the GP5. You know, he's kind of figuring things out, and I love what he's doing. He comes to every race. He tries to figure it out, and, you know, he's improving every time, so I love that.
So let's talk a little bit about that. You talk about Chris Grant. He's going to be in the Jacknut apparel, but we got some sponsors jumping across the pit docks here a little bit. So, Lazy Boy, you had this nice new sponsor here this weekend, and we're so excited to have them on board.
Yes.
And talk a little bit about them, how that came about, and they're going to jump over to John's boat,
They
correct?
are. So, yeah, I'm blown away. It was a sponsor who used to sponsor me, Tom Beardsley, in my 2.5 stock with Seattle Home Appliance, and he now works for Lazy Boy. And he's like, "Hey, Brent, 2 days ago, I think I want to sponsor you." And I was like, "Really? Well, we can do something." So we had a lot of fun. We did some AI and had some pictures of me in my driver's suit in a Lazy Boy, and it took off from there. But he was at a national meeting in Louisiana, and he showed everyone this, and they're all going to be watching the telecast Saturday and Sunday. So we weren't going to let Tom down. We want to make sure that they get that Lazy Boy gets full exposure on this, and the Cool Cat Motorsports team obviously wants to support it as well, and we're going to do some great things. So the Lazy Boy logos are moving over from the GP 235 to the GP 135, and then you know, John's going to go out there and kick some butt. So he called me lazy, though. I didn't like that. He said, "Brent, you know, you're the lazy one." I was like, oh.
He's the lazy boy.
The lazy
there
boy.
We go. So how about powered by the V Foundation? I know that's important to you.
It is.
You're going to throw that over on the deck of that so we can talk
know,
about that. I know it's so important to you,
it
young
is.
Man. You had a tough summer last year.
I did. That's an honor of my brother, and here comes the GP 135. I think we're going to continue to talk about it, and we have some Lego people that are dedicated to that, but this one's probably going to be more about actually, here comes John now.
Yeah, the lazy boy.
Yeah, so the V Foundation, we are going to continue that, probably behind the scenes. The logo we have to get remade, and that was made back in Maryland, so we'll get it on the boat, though. We'll probably have it on for San Diego.
Sounds very good. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to the start. We got 3 boats slated to come out here in our Heat 1B. We got one of them out on the water. That is John Shaw. He looked really good this morning as well.
He's been trying some different things on the boat to tame it down a bit. We changed some bull noses. He made it from scratch. He's done some dynamics, some aerodynamics on the top of the boat. So yeah, we're trying some different things, but we're just getting him comfortable in the boat and giving him a good boat ride.
Very good. And then you've already talked a little bit about the Freak, the GP10. I like this boat. I like the aggressive look of the boat on the water. It just looks different, that cowling and so forth. And as I keep telling Dustin, you call a boat the Freak, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and the driver's pretty aggressive too. Kevin,
he's a character.
If you've ever talked to him, boy, he will light it up. So
we could have a conversation with him from right here.
We could.
You could hear him from across the lake. But
yeah.
I love listening to him talk. I love just talking
too.
with him. He's so friendly and so engaging. It's a great time.
It is, and the fans love him too. He's a kick.
We've still got Chris Grant sitting at the dock in the GP5, the Jacknut apparel. hoping he can get out here and join these two guys. Otherwise, we're going to have a match race. It's pretty good boats.
It's a good match race, but
yeah.
Come on, Chris, we need you.
The lid just came up on the 5, so I'm keeping a close eye on him. The lid was down.
Okay.
Now the lid is back up, so I'm not sure if they're working on something in the cockpit or what they have going on.
Yep.
2 minutes and 40 seconds, 2:40 to the start of our Heat 1B for Grand Prix America here at the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. There you get a look at the GP10 as it comes across start-finish line. That aggressive-looking boat. It's got that cowling. I'm not sure how you define it. But
I don't know.
It just
cool.
looks aggressive.
It just looks cool.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
I'd go with that one.
Yeah, no. You know, it's interesting. These guys are going to want to be down at the in the backstretch about a minute. So it'll be, when you've got two boats, sometimes it's a little different, just trying to find your marks. But they each have their own marks. They know where they need to be. It's just they're pretty far apart right now.
Well, John Shaw and the Cool Cat Motorsports with the Lazy Boy new sponsorship, jumping ship from one to the other.
That's right.
And we're so happy to have Lazy Boy on board. I'm sure Cool Cat Motorsports is as well. And there was a good timing run to the line, so he can hit it right on the button and he'll be ready.
Yeah. Oh, John likes to have a certain miles per hour that he comes up to every time he does his timing mark, just to keep it consistent.
So we'll see what he does now, because he's down at the lower end of the race course at a $130.
I would imagine a back to front here. He's well.
See what he wants to do. Shaw's going to come off the corner, and he is going to come across, and that's a legal maneuver.
Yep, you bet it is.
You see him coming across. He went around the lower end of the race course. He will come over now and slot himself into lane number 1. Kevin Eckert will come up alongside him. It's going to be a 2-boat run here.
Yep, well, they found each other. Now here we go.
This is where the pressure really is on the driver. With only 2 boats out here, you do not want to mess a startup right now, because it's so obvious.
It's so obvious,
you need to just kind of tune everything else out, make your own start, run your own race, act like there's 6 other boats out there with you.
Ooh, they got a little close there.
Honestly, I'm not sure why I'm saying anything over here. You guys are the drivers. Take this show away.
Hey,
here.
we're just having fun. Please
That's
talk.
what we are doing here.
Yeah.
Coming up, I'll tell you, we're coming up on 30 seconds. 30 seconds to the start. We're going to go 3 times around, and whatever they're going to do at the start, they're going to probably be pretty darn close together, because they're tied together right now as we approach 20 seconds and they approach the entrance pin to turn 2.
It'll be interesting to see who steps on it first.
They both want a flying start.
There we go. Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. Okay.
That's the noise pedal I learned this morning.
They're going to be late. They're going to be late.
They are going to be late.
We're inside 5. We are 3.
Get it, John.
2, 1. Mark, yeah, really a tardy start here, but wow, and look at John Shaw. He's
flying that
opening
thing.
up water. He is flying the thing, and he's opening up water on Kevin. Kevin better make a move down here. He's going to find himself Shaw running away.
What's interesting is, well, John's starting to get a little bit of lead on him, but Kevin's still right there. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Kevin didn't do himself any favors, though, being that late to the start on the outside. You know, as the weekend progresses here, he's going to have to really step that up and nail it to be aggressive. And you're not going to beat John Shaw by being late at all and on his outside. So hopefully he'll get her dialed in.
Yeah, boy, now we're starting to see a little bit of spread. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there, personally. I'm like, hey, wait a second, I'm on the outside. Yeah, you got to get up there. It's a lesson a driver learns, and you learn it a few times. You'll make that mistake, but Kevin's still in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, once you're back in the rough stuff, I mean, it's not so bad with 2 boats, but you're in that rough stuff, and you think, man, this is miserable. But then you get out front one time, and you say, hey, it's really, really nice out here in the clean water. I want to be out here the whole time, so that you start really working on those starts and making sure you can nail it.
Eckert was trying to move to the inside coming down the front straightaway there, but Shaw kind of closed the door on him.
Oh, shut the door. Yeah. No, boy, you're right. And I think I did get your coaching, Dustin. Yeah, Brent might want to get up front, because it's going to be a lot better out there for him.
It's going to be a lot happier.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm working on it.
Yeah, right now there's nothing that Kevin Eckert's going to be able to do to reel in John Shaw. You know, he can try all he wants, but it goes back to my point earlier of just saving the equipment. If it's not your heat right now, it's not your heat. Don't push anything. And John Shaw's doing a great job. I'm sure he's got a little throttle left, but he's just using just enough to make sure he keeps that comfortable lead in front of Kevin Eckert.
That's right. There's no need to waste the equipment or put extra pressure on this. And Actually, Kevin's motor, someone's motor sounded a little rough. I don't know. Maybe it was just because he was off of it, but it sounded a little different.
No, you're definitely right on that one. It does sound a little, maybe a little rich, a little burbly, but it might be because he's just not flat-footing it around, too. As you know, these things like to be run wide open.
I do, yeah. Boy, what a pretty shot. I love these new drone shots. They are amazing.
You have the same aspect as I do. I
Yeah.
came up here and I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Yeah.
You know,
watching it come through the corner like that and sponsons bouncing.
oh, yeah.
Checkered flag flies. John
John
Shaw,
Shaw.
3 up and 3 down. Cool Cat Motorsports GP 135 Lazy Boy Furniture. Man, you jumped that sponsor over there and look.
Go Lazy Boy, what's
That
up?
worked.
That's right, that's right. Oh, no.
Uh-oh, there went a propeller or a shaft.
Oh, just at the finish. Well,
All right, Kevin, it's not going to go. Just shut her down, buddy.
Yeah.
oh, no, he
boy.
still got some.
Yeah, it might have broke a coupler, might have broke,
Yeah, something was still spinning, huh, off the back.
yeah.
Well, something certainly let go, but everything worked according to Hoyle for Mr. Shaw. Tell me a little bit about what John is saying about this boat.
Oh,
I
John
mean, he's
loves
still
it.
learning this boat.
He's learning and loving that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I would say. And John, he's such a student and a teacher, but he's such a student of driving, and he is getting a lot of feedback from obviously Ed and Scott Cropfield. Scott's giving him some feedback as well, and he's just taking it all in. But as a driver, you have to decide, like, what's the piece that I'm going to work on, and what's the piece that I'm going to leave alone.
So one of the things that you guys have to do as drivers in the sport is, unfortunately, when you end on the end of a tow rope and you're pushing that rope all the way back, you have to interact with the fans. So I'm expecting you two can explain to us what exactly Austin is saying here with some of his gestures.
Well, he's waving at us.
That
number
part
one.
we got.
So we got the wave from Austin. Yeah, you're thinking about a lot. Like, I'm sure he already looked in the engine bay to see, is there oil in there or water? Like, what's going on? For Kevin, do I have my prop? Those are the things as a driver you look for. And then you look for the fan on the shore. If you can make someone's day while you're out on tour, then that's what you do.
Absolutely. And if you got the sponsor on the side, make sure you get some coverage for that. There we get a close-up on the H1 Unlimited live stream of Kevin Ekert as he climbs out of the Richard Racing GP10 The Freak.
Yep, so he's putting his mask away. Let's see what Kevin's doing. Okay. Okay, and the drone's going to go away to Austin. Back to Austin.
Back to Austin.
Maybe.
These guys are getting more airtime, and
They
the winner's
are.
already back at the dock.
I know, but
It's such a disheartening feeling, but like you were saying, Brent, it sure makes you feel good when you look up on the shoreline. There's some kids and everybody waving at you and telling you how much they love your boat, love your team that you're racing with. That does make it that much better. But it's a pretty rough feeling and a long tow back.
It is, and we were just kind of teasing about that, but your lips stuck out for a second. But like you said, when you get on the shore and everyone's like, "You did great," and you're like, "Okay, yeah, I did," but just the fans mean everything.
Absolutely.
They really do, and I think that we're getting some signals here. Oh, we may make a move here, but yeah, what I was saying is the fans do mean everything, and those big smiles when we've had a tough go or something's happened with the engine, it really makes our day. So please keep doing that for us. That means a lot.
Well, and I am the one who always abdicates that the most important people here, it doesn't have anything to do with boat racers or us or anything. It's these people on the shoreline.
You got that right.
That buy the tickets and come down here to watch us do our thing. And so, yeah, we'll always interact. I'm going to sneak around or sneak down.
Sure. So sorry for the pause. We're just getting in position.
It's been a good first day though so far here at Seattle. Lots of boats on the water, some great speeds, and plenty of action.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a pretty day. We sure got a beautiful Washington day, and if people don't believe that we do have nice days like this, we actually do. Now, tomorrow might be different, but that's okay.
Well, we have our resident Michigander, joining us here.
Michigander.
And, well, we learned that
Yeah.
at the test session. And
She's teaching.
what do you think about the weather here today that you ran into?
I think it's not Tri-Cities.
Well, and that's a good thing on that part. Not sure we have.
There we
go.
go.
Now
You
we
can
got
hear
Danny
me.
Rogers.
I knew you couldn't.
Yeah, we can do it.
I would say it's not Tri-Cities, so that's awesome. We're not in desert heat. I'm not going to think about tomorrow.
Nope.
And usually my weather app is wrong, so I'm praying that it is still wrong, and it's as beautiful as it was today. This is amazing. This is like my favorite day so far of the race season. This has been fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you had some amazing.
Not too hot, not too cold.
The Blue Angels,
Yep.
everyone's running good. Like,
Yep.
we're ready to go.
And J. Michael Kelly wore a fish today, and
I heard.
right on the windshield.
That is wild.
I just thought that was the craziest thing, and I asked him, how rare is that? He said, I maybe have gotten one other fish to the windshield my racing career. So, yeah, that's very rare. I thought it was insane.
So you're getting a look down there at the city that grows. There's the four of us there. How about that?
Ta-da.
That's a pretty good looking crew, maybe. Maybe. And the reason we've got everybody gathered here is because we have maybe the most important part of the day. I know it's near and dear to everybody's heart. Apparently it's not near and dear to Brent and my heart, because on this pick the prop thing, we're not doing so good.
Second to last and last?
Yeah, you didn't
Second
have
to
to
last
point
and
that
last,
part out,
right?
but
I
yeah,
just want
that's
to make
right.
sure. I'm checking.
That's all right.
That's a heartbreaker. I'm disappointed.
Says the guy in first place.
Is he in first?
No.
I think he's in first. Who's first?
Who is first?
Oh, it's Statman.
Oh, yeah, the guy keeping score.
The guest picker's in first.
Oh, is he really?
Dave Villwalk, Tom 9 and this week's
wait.
picker,
Wait a second.
Nate
Danny,
Brown.
Nate
Danny,
Brown is
look
here.
at
So
you.
here we go. And, hey, Brent, the reason you and I are all the way over to the left there on the screen, yeah, it's because we're at the bottom.
But I'm not as far left. So I just want to
Thanks
make
so
sure that's
much.
clear.
Thank-
I'm not over there.
Yeah, he's trying to drag everyone down with him.
So
You can stay there.
this is a rare moment when we get all four of us together. So
love it.
We're probably going to have a pretty good time up here. But let's start through this little pick the prop thing here. That dude on the left there at the bottom of your screen, he gets to pick first. And, wow, I didn't go the way Statman thought I was going to go. I've had a couple conversations with Mr. Tate. I've talked to some of the people on the crew yesterday, walking through, and they are focused. They are ready to go. I went with Andrew Tate, and going with the U1 for my first pick.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Truly shocking.
Well, it was to him. He thought I was going with that other guy. I can't remember his name, but I got a hunch he's going to come off the board right now.
Okay. Well, I think I went with Captain America.
Yeah, of course
yeah,
you did.
Yeah. You know, if you took him, I'll take Captain America, Jimmy Shane. But, you know, I've been surprised here before. And that's my concern. I'm like, it feels like the right decision, but it may not be.
All right, so picking number 3, we got the Stat Man, and I think he's joined us here on air. What did you do, young man?
Well, you know, there's only 2 people have ever won 4 times in a row on this course. One of them's not here today.
That's true.
Obviously, Bill
The other
Muncie.
one is.
So I got to go with J. Michael Kelly.
That's the one I'm worried about.
U00 Beacon Plumbing.
I'm worried about that one.
presents
So he
Maverick.
went with the man that has won 4 times in a row here. As he said, only 2 people have ever done that. Bill Muncie did it way back in the day. So there's 3 pretty big boats off the board there. Where did you go, young lady?
You know, most
you
of the
remember?
guys went off the board. I remembered, and I remembered.
Hey, your elbow works this way. You know. Right there.
I remembered that Mike was off the board because of Statman, and so I went with his teammate Corey Peabody.
Okay.
That was as close as I could get, and so I'm going with Corey.
Good pick. Well, and I wanted to go with a good strong pick, so I'm obviously going to eat my veggies, and I'm going
there
to
you
go
go.
with the
Yeah.
FLAV-R-PAC
Flavor
team,
Pack.
Jamie Nilsen.
Those are fast veggies.
Well, with the improvement we saw last week, that is certainly not a pick. And what you kept saying today is they're not running as fast as everybody right here, but they're probably running the same setup they're going to race with, and it bodes well for them tomorrow. They should be a strong player. And then our guest picker, he's not here, so Statman, fill us in. What did Nate Brown do?
Well, I had Nate on the phone a little while ago. He was a little jealous of your pick, Dustin. He wanted the 11 for Brandon being on the team there. But he went with your other team you've been on in the past. You take your U40. Buccaneers.
That could be
Dylan
Woohoo.
Runne. I like it. I like it.
He's got some speed, man.
So then we go to the second pick, and I lead it off again because I'm way over there on the left. And
You can say it last. It's okay.
dead last. And let me see. I went back in the archives, and Nick reminded me that I've already burned Andrew Tate and Jimmy Shane. And for the second pick, you can pick any boat you want, but you can only pick that boat once all season. So both of those guys are off the board for me. I went with a guy who's had a lot of tough luck on this lake. He's never won here. I think he's got a fast boat. I think he showed a lot of improvement a week ago in the Tri-Cities, and I know he's got his game face on. So I went with Corey Peabody, and the Beacon Plumbing presents the Tahoe Miss.
Okay. Yeah. I think for me, similar thought process, but I just think Andrew Tate has a bone to pick. Like, hey, I'm national champ.
Yeah.
I have a great boat. I have a great team. You know, we're not teammates. He's
Right.
coming for Jimmy. He's coming for Jimmy. So I kind of took both sides. Of like, these two are going to duke it out like a heavyweight prize fight. I think it's going to be one of those two.
That's a tough duo right there.
Yeah.
Nick, where'd you go?
Well, it's not going to be a surprise. You know, I was going to save this guy for later in the season. We're here later in the season now. He was perfect last year. And if his competitive edge for revenge is as much as his teammates is at Topgolf, I had to take the U1 Andrew Tate.
There we go. Went with Tate. So he's got J. Michael Kelly.
So does
and
that
Andrew
mean
Tate,
so
he
we-
does have his game face on.
Love
Danny,
that.
where did you go?
I heard J. Michael Kelly is the Tom Brady of Seattle, so I'm going J. Michael Kelly.
Okay.
I wouldn't bet against that man. I would take that man in this race, so that's who I'm going with. He was my first pick. He wasn't available, so he's my second pick.
Is the fish good luck?
I think so. I think
There
fish
it is.
fish are good luck.
We're on water.
Someone Google this. I think fish mean good luck in something.
Well, it's the opposite of watermelon there, because that's something you never mention in boat racing is a watermelon. So we won't go there. Dustin, you're up, young man.
Yeah, and I had to go with a safe bet. You know, Brad said that he was going to go with someone who had a lot of trouble on this race course, and we all see that he's in last. So I went the opposite, and I went with J. Michael Kelly, who's been doing fantastic out here, and I think that's a good safe bet.
Yeah. I think J. Michael's going to make me pay for not picking him. So
He
I'll
might.
give that
agree.
to
He
him.
might.
Yeah.
Wow. And if that happens, it's going to shake up our standings. It's not going to help me at all.
And I may pay because I've been talking about someone being in last place a lot. So I mean, you know.
There we go. So what did Mr. Brown do? What did Nate have to say?
He took the son of his former teammate back in 1997. He took Andrew Tate as well.
There we go.
Oh, boy.
Great pick.
Boy, so yeah, we got a lot of U1s, 27s, and wow, a lot of J. Michael Kellys on there. Look at that.
I'm impressed if you know Jimmy Shane goes back to back to back. Only Brent is getting points.
Ooh, I
Correct.
like that you said that.
That's crazy. Wow, that's good strategy.
I really
Brent.
didn't need you to point that out.
I thought about that and I'm like,
Roll the dice.
I don't love that.
Maybe so.
Happy for you, Brent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that's it for our Pick the Prop segment. I'm sure Nick will be keeping us up to date on it. Couple things. I'm not sure. Where is the trophy now? Oh, that's right. I have it. Okay. I forgot that for a moment. Yeah. I know.
That was really a shameful bragging moment. You know, that was not even cute.
That wasn't good. Huh? That wasn't
No,
good.
no.
Okay. All right. That's not working so well. But anyway, we will keep everybody posted because I know our fans are riveted out there with how this is going, and I know they can't wait to see every little point. I feel good with qualifying today with my Andrew Tate pick. He looked really good.
He did, yeah. Very, very clean, perfect boat ride. I mean, he's got a lot of confidence heading into race day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And our qualifying session that we're going to open with tomorrow morning for H1 Unlimited is going to be very, very interesting because, as Dustin, you and I talked, right now Andrew Tate and Jimmy Shane are consecutive on the ladder, on the qualifying ladder, which means they will not run against each other in the first heat.
Oh.
And the same can be said about Strong Racing and Corey Peabody and J. Michael Kelly. However, we're not done qualifying yet, and there's Dylan Runne sitting back there about a half a mile an hour back. If he just jumps one of those boats, it's going to mess this whole thing up. And then I think we're going to see some activity in the pit area. So I think it'll be fun tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we've got for today. It's day 1 of 3 at the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. I am Brad Luce along with Danny Rogers, Brent Hall, Dustin Eccles. We will all be back here this morning. This young lady will be down doing a great job getting interviews, talking to all the drivers. We'll be doing that. Brent, you're going to have to come up here and join us because really sorry about what happened to you today. I know you were anxious to go, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't. I'm going to spend some time with you, and I might go spend some time with some fans. I might go see what they're up to.
Are you going to go to the logs?
Well, I don't know. I have a friend now. I have a friend
Yes,
who
you
might be able
do.
to take me out there, so you never know. You come
Let us
up with
know
ideas.
how. Let us know how it goes.
Let us know how that works out for you. So we've got a course opens when tomorrow morning. Do we know? We don't know. But check our social media pages. Check our website. Check H1 Unlimited on Facebook. When we know exactly when the course opens, we will be on at that time. We'll be ready to go. All 4 of us will be ready to go. We hope you will be too. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, day 2 of 3. It's the 2026 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. Everybody have a good evening. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night, everybody.
I'm Brandon Kennedy, and you're watching H1 Unlimited on YouTube.
Doesn't get any better than that. They are going to be side by side. This is for the checkered flag.